using the ASC GHG feed calculator. At the end of this video, you will be able to add your site information, calculate your site's emissions, and interpret the results. Feel free to pause the video at any time to follow the steps at your own pace and input your feed mill's information. The first step to calculating GHG emissions for a feed is to enter basic feed mill information for each of the mills for which you want to build models. So let's start with creating your site's information. Click on the user menu in the top right of the screen and navigate to the site information page. First, select the country where the feed mill is located. You can scroll down to find the country in the list, or simply type the first letters of the country to get a shorter list to select from. Then click Add to add the country to the available feed mill locations. Now, specify the name of the feed mill in the site information field and select the species for which the mill produces feed. Note that you can select multiple species, but for this example, we will use only one. Then, in the Select Production drop-down menu, select Feed. You can add more than one feed mill for a single country by clicking Add Fields. Finally, click Confirm to save the feed mill information. You will be automatically redirected to the feed calculator to begin building a new feed model. The next step in calculating emissions is to build a new feed model in the feed calculator. You can do this at any time by clicking Feed Calculator at the top of the page. The calculator includes 5 sections: the feed information, the annual feed production on site, the fuel inputs for milling, the electricity inputs to milling, and the feed ingredients. In feed information, specify the year of production. Then first select the country, followed by the mill, and finally the species for which the feed is intended. Enter the total production of ASC conforming feed at the feed mill in the specified year. For both the fuel and electricity inputs, indicate each input used and specify the total quantity used in the production year. From the drop-down menu, select each fuel used by the feed mill and click Add. And indicate the total amount of this fuel used in the specified year. Then select electricity sources, either from grid or specific renewable sources, and indicate the total amount used in the specified year for each. In this section, you will build the composition of the feed using averaged values for different feed ingredients. Select the category, the specific ingredient, then the product form, and finally the region of origin. The region you select here should be where the raw material was produced, rather than where the final ingredient was purchased. Click Add. This will create a new group of fields for the ingredient you have listed with its origin. For each ingredient, indicate the percentage of the feed composition for that ingredient, and the estimated distance needed for the ingredient to be transported to the feed mill by road, rail, or sea. After adding all the ingredients and their information, ensure that the total composition adds up to 100%. When you have added all the ingredients, click Calculate. When clicking Calculate, this will display the GHG results on the right side of your screen. There are 3 ways to view the result chart. Divided by input, which shows the estimated GHG emissions coming from each major type of energy or feed ingredient input. Divided by scope, Scope 1, 2, and 3. And divided by category, showing the distribution between fossil, biogenic, and land use change. Finally, you can click on View GHG Emission Summary to see the results in a table and download to a spreadsheet file. This downloaded spreadsheet is conveniently formatted to input to the ASC GHG emission report template. As a last step, it is important to remember to save the model. Going back to the calculator page, scroll down to the bottom of the page and select Save. Give it a unique name so you can find it among your list of saved feed models.